Hey, my friend. Good morning. How are you? Take two. I didn't intend to go live there a minute ago. I was cleaning off my keys on my laptop and apparently hit the right combination of keys to make me go live. So, hope my fly wasn't open or something, huh? Wouldn't be the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me on air or online, that's for sure. And there will probably be more. Anyway, my friends, good morning. How are you? Craig. Hey, buddy. How are you? Always a pleasure. Joel. Good morning. How are you? Tim. Good morning again. Tim, I know you like to predator hunt. I was walking in the door of the studio here this morning, the radio station. There's two groundhogs dug a den right next to the front door. So we got to get rid of those. Tommy, good morning. Hey, Cap, how are you? Corey checking in from All Gray, getting ready for a tournament this weekend. Uncle Johnny, how you doing, buddy? Cliff, Nick, Jerry, Brian, good morning to you all. Robert, thanks for joining me on this edition Behind the Mic here from the Outdoor Magazine radio studio, here to record this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show. And I will tell you who's coming up on the show shortly. First, this live stream brought to you by Michigan Brand Meats and their smoked beef cherry maple flavored. These are really good. I was just munching on one. Really good. Yes, Saturday and Sunday, the MWT. And that's why you can't be a part of the Walleye for Warriors. I remember that now. Gene said the podcast was not downloaded to iHeart. I had somebody else who told me the same thing, and I said, "Yeah, it's there." And they went and checked, and it was. You saw me, eh? How are you? Let me check something here. Didn't go to iHeart. Let me check my settings. I got to log in. Check my destinations. It shows it's there, Gene. It shows it's there. Morning, Scott. How are you? But that's interesting. I had somebody else say that they didn't get the podcast this week, and then I said it's there, and they went back and they said, "Oh, I turned off auto download." Just checking, you still don't see it. Turkey, chicken to a coon, or an owl. Greg says he likes the podcast version being one file. I got to be honest, it's easier for me. The reason blatantly honest, the reason I made it 3 files in the first place is I'd get 3 times the downloads. I'm not really too concerned about downloads at this point. So I figured for you, Craig, and everybody else, I'd make it easier and put them all in one big file. And so far, you're only the second person who's even mentioned it. So, John Callison, where are you, John? Good morning. Jeff, back in Michigan, or probably getting ready to leave somewhere else again. Hey, Randy, are you on the water this morning? Going to be a little bumpy, I think. Randy, I tell you, that last day I was in the water, I was banging my head against the side of the Angler Quest. I have struggled my last 2 trips out. I have really struggled. And it's to the point where, you know how it is. If you get a couple of bad trips, you start to lose your confidence. It's like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing wrong? I do have a trip tomorrow, weather permitting, if the wind will allow me to go. I've got a trip for tomorrow. And we'll see. Hopefully I can get out there. And Curtis, good morning. Hey, Johnny Bowler, how are things in the U, buddy? It's going to be pretty soon now. I'm going to find out if I got a tag with you, Johnny. Good morning, Bob. You do have yours set for auto download, but you didn't see it on iHeart this week. Let me check one more place, Gene. Content previously published last week. Let me check my destinations. It's good. It's checked. iHeartRadio is checked, and it says that it was sent to iHeart at 6 p.m. on Sunday. So from my end, it's there, Gene. I know that doesn't help you out at all, but from my end, it is indeed there. Good morning, Dave. Scott says night crawlers. Yeah. Not on my boat, but yeah, I get it. Good morning, Jim. How are you? Jan, good morning, Mike. I enjoyed the 3 separate downloads. That way we get to hear all of your partnership advertising. I was talking, Randy, with Tony Wint, another fellow skinny water guy, and he couldn't get him to go on flickers the other day, and he switched over to crawlers, and he picked up a few. I am not taking a veteran out Sunday, Corey. I'm just going to be the MC. In fact, I won't even be over there Saturday because my Addison is playing in the regional softball tournament over in Mount Pleasant. They're going to play Grand Blanc. Seeing a lot of fawns, absolutely. Mike, you need to wear a hat out there. Getting a little red on the top there. That's not red, that's tan. There's Tony right there. Tony, we were just talking about you, the fact that I was telling you that I was really struggling, and you said you had to switch to crawlers to get fish. I'm not willing to go that far. Tommy, got some pictures I'll send you. You've had a great time. Rapid River Knife was totally worth it. Isn't that a great place? Todd checking in from Louisville. Lonnie says, congrats to the Saginaw Spirit hockey team. You were all over that, weren't you, John?
Yep.
Jonathan Denn in the studio with me right now. The folks at WSGW were all over that event. Good morning, Justin. How are you? Justin, whenever I see you, I'm just going to go, and you'll know what I mean. Cliff had the same problem with iHeart here, too. I wonder what it is. I don't. On my end, I just checked my destinations of the show, and it said it sent it to iHeart at 6 o'clock Sunday afternoon. So all I would do is say, go to the Facebook page. It's there. You can listen to it there. But thank you for pointing that out. Thank you, Steve. And I will right back at you. Steve Ribbit. Steve, have you been fishing, Steve? I've been out there quite a bit, but I haven't seen you. And how have you been doing? Johnny says, fixing to get some rain in the U. Greg says, going to be windy Sunday for the Walleye for Warriors event. John says he loves that the podcast is all one file now. Thank you, Gene. I appreciate that. Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Kevin. Scott says turkeys are doing good in his area. Last podcast on iHeart was May 26th. Now, Gene, May 26th. Okay. I'll tell you what, there are so many moving pieces to this whole thing, and the radio distribution and the radio syndication and the uploads and the downloads and the satellites and the FTPs. There's a lot of moving parts to this whole thing. So the fact that it runs as smoothly as it does is actually pretty impressive. Scott got 24 in 2 passes on Sunday. Flicker minnows on the east side. 25th, Tim says. Scott, I was right. I was on the east side. I didn't fish Sunday. I did fish Monday with Tony, by the way, with Tony Sobey. And I struggled. I basically right now, I'll tell you right now, I stink at fishing right now. I stink at fishing. I thought, well, the heck with it then. I'm just going to go play golf. Played a round of golf. I stunk at golf too. Got to get my crap together here. Good morning, Julie. AT&T had a big connecting issue. Hello, Tim. How are you? Good morning. All right, Corey, go find some big fish. Good luck this weekend. Nice 2-man limit yesterday. East side, Steve? I'm telling you, my last 2 trips have been abysmal. I mean, I went everywhere looking for fish that I could get to go. Could not get them to go. Steve, if you want to shoot me a little intel, I have a trip tomorrow. I would appreciate it. Ken is on Saginaw Bay right now. How is it out there right now, Ken? A little bumpy? It's June 23rd or 24th, Johnny, that the bear permits and elk permits get announced. Good morning, Brent. How are you? Good morning, Deb. Jerry says, I'll be cleaning my fish from this morning's trip after the show. Maybe the new tubes are too shiny and they're chasing fish away. A bad day of fishing is still a good day. It is a good day. But I'm suffering from a little bad, I don't want to say bad mojo, lack of confidence right now. I've had 2 bad trips in a row. So my confidence level, you know how it is. If you are confident in where you are fishing and how you are fishing, you will stay at it. And because you stay at it, you will catch fish. If you don't have the confidence and you keep changing things and keep moving, you're not going to catch fish. And that's where I'm at right now. So I gotta get in the mindset. Like tomorrow morning, I think it's going to be bumpy tomorrow morning. So I'm going to be limited where I could fish. I'm going to go to the one spot that I can get to, and I'm going to pound the living snot out of it until we get blown off. John, he liked the pictures with the bear by the blind with Nick the other day. I was using a 270 on that wolf hunt, John. A follow-up to Nick Grillo. I just talked to him this morning. That little bear that he has a picture of looking in the blind at him last night came in the blind. Nick's going to be on the show with me next week to talk about this. That bear came in the blind. He yelled at it. The bear actually followed him back to the truck after dark. Now, it's just curious. It's not aggressive, but it's just curious. But still, that's where I was at, Scott. I was all over Callahan. Now, were you on the top or were you on the sides? East side flicker shad. Damn it, guys. That's what I've been doing. Callahan flickers. Scott, on top or off to the sides? Walleye population on Saginaw Bay is not down. I can tell you that right now. All right, Johnny, have a good day. It is, Jerry. Was I marking fish? I think so. I was actually paying more attention to the side scan these days. So the 2D, the down scan, the sonar showed fish, but I wasn't seeing them on the side scan. The top end, how far off the top end? The tip of the reef? Because I'm telling you, my last 2 trips, Scott, that's where I was. All right, Gene. Thank you, buddy. Raining in Poseyville now, the top of the tip. Marty went Friday, went deep Friday, got 12 in 3 hours. I don't know if I will be able to get out to Callahan tomorrow with the wind, the way it looks. I might have to fish in tight, which is fine with me. I love it in skinny there. The problem with skinny water right now is there's a lot of floating weeds, and they're those real slimy weeds that when your line goes through it, it slides down the line to the bait, and they're just slimy as can be. Vaughn headed to Northwest Ontario in the morning for bear. I do love bear hunting, Vaughn. Good luck to you. Send me a picture of your bear. Can't wait to see it. Plenty of sheephead and catfish too. We got a couple of big pike the other day. A couple of monster sheephead too. Jay says it's raining in West Branch right now. West Branch, the site of the first annual Mike Avery Outdoors charity golf outing coming up Monday, July 29th at the West Branch Country Club. Good morning, Paul. Okay, a couple of things I want to talk about here. Fishing, the conditions. There's been wind, mayflies, a mayfly hatch on the water, dead mayflies on the water, a few bugs, weeds, the slimy weeds I was talking about. I fished with the Michigan brand guys last week. One thing I wanted to bring up about Michigan brand, aside from Nick Grillo of Michigan brand, is bear hunting in Ontario right now. They told me that they pick up many of their dealers who hear about them on this show. So if you have a shop or a gas station or a party store or something, or you know of somebody who does, who you would think these Michigan brand products would be a good fit for, let me know. Send me an email to Mike at Mike Avery Outdoors, and I will make that connection. These, by the way, are very, very good. 13 to 14 feet at the tip, 20 to 25 back. That's exactly what I was doing. Good morning, Jim. Scott Hand, the tent for Walleye for Warriors is up. Scott, I will not be there Saturday because Addison is playing in the regional tournament. I will be out there Sunday. I need Lance's bead tip to set up. That's not a bad idea. I should actually put. I should actually do that. Yeah, that's not a bad idea. If those weeds continue, I'll put a snap swivel or something in there, or bead or something to catch those weeds. That's a great idea. Thank you, Adam. That's like a no-brainer. Why didn't I think of that? Well, for the same reason I haven't been catching fish lately. Bruce, good morning. How are you? So yeah, it's been my walleye mojo has taken a break. I don't believe in mojo, but I do believe in common sense. And I've been leaving my honey hole because there've been so many weeds in there. Go out to Callahan and struggle. I don't know why, because there's a crap ton of fish out there right now. And I'm just not able to get them to go. And then I come back to my skinny water because I say to heck with it and I catch fish. So why did I ever leave the skinny water in the first place? Don't leave fish to find fish. Ken, Bumpy, 2 fish, 15 feet of water south of the spot. On my chart, that waypoint is called Ken's spot. Charlie?
Good morning, sir.
Look at what we got.
Oh, you're too kind.
Well, it's for both of us, so I'm not just being that generous. Good morning, Mad Jack. How are you? You are killing me, Scott Keatsman. You are killing me. I got an award this week from the Michigan Outdoor Writers. And what do I do these days? I do video and social media. What was the award for? Video. I mean, I do audio, radio, podcasting, and social media. What was the award for? It was for a video piece I put on YouTube, Last Minute Bear Hunting with Ron St. Louis and Northern Wilderness Bear Outfitters in White River, Ontario. It's kind of cool to get a Morton F. award because I actually knew Mort. Most people these days don't. And also, the Outdoor Magazine podcast was named the top Michigan outdoor podcast by FeedSpot. FeedSpot it's one of the platforms that has podcasting. Mike, I've got your brother on today. You have a good day as well. Mike Van Warmer, I've got Gabe on the show. Let me tell you real quick who is on the show. Don Miller kicks off the show this week talking about Lake St. Clair muskie fishing. Then Tom Campbell of Woods and Water News. In our second hour, the catfish guru, Lloyd Tanner. Now, I reached out to Lloyd the other day and said, you want to do a radio show? He said, sure. He's the guy who set the new state record. He caught a flathead of 53 pounds and change a couple of years ago. I didn't realize that Michigan Out of Doors had just rerun a piece with him. So it looks like I'm piggybacking on them. I didn't. So if it looks that way, I'm sorry. Then Bill Piles of Ohio Bow Hunting Outfitters joins us. I am not able to hunt with Bill this year, but I still want to promote him because he has a great operation and he has openings where you can go down to Ohio. And in our third hour, Gabe Van Warmer, Gabe, he shoots for Michigan Out of Doors TV. He shoots for Fishing 411 TV. He also has a very good YouTube channel, Full Quiver Outdoors. He's going to talk about his Michigan outdoor adventures and also, I suspect, his Africa adventures. He just got back from Africa a few weeks ago. And, of course, we wrap it all up with Wild Game Chef Extraordinaire Dixie Dave Miner. Triple header, last fish. What Scott, you just dagger? You want me to put here, Scott? Would you just feel better if I just plunge this in right now? Is that what you're saying? Triple header to get our last fish. Had to throw 2 back. Thank you, Charlie. Get a little toasty in here. Maybe it's because all this talk about you guys getting fish got me all heated up. Grew up watching Morton F. Yeah. Thank you, Johnny. Hooked Up Sport Fishing. Good morning. How are you? Oh, I can feel that air. It feels so good. All right. I've told you who's on the show this week. I will continue this live stream here. In a couple of minutes, I will switch gears from this live stream to the radio show. Feel free to stick around and watch if you want. It's me recording the radio show, so I will not be able to directly interact. I won't be looking at you as much. I won't be looking at your comments. I won't be answering your comments. I'll be doing the radio show. But feel free to stick around and watch if you want. And then tonight at 7:00, I'll be back here for another edition of Wednesday Night Live. You know, the big show, Wednesday Night Live. Although I say big show in the summertime, the numbers are down a little bit. And that makes sense because it's 7:00 on Wednesday night. It's still broad daylight. It's still nice out. A lot of people have things to do. You got ball games to be at. You got golf courses to be at. You got fishing to do. I get it. You are excused. You are forgiven, my sons and daughters. Charles says, starting to rain. Where are you, Charles? Remind me. I'm sure if I pull up the radar here. Oh, yeah, there's rain coming in right here, too. So anyway, I'm fishing tomorrow. Wind allowing, Mother Nature allowing. Supposed to be a pretty good southwest blow. I've got an area that is protected from a southwest wind that I could, Nobbin Way. Okay. I got an area that's protected that I should be able to get into, at least for a couple hours. So wish me luck. I'm not going to make it out to this infamous reef everybody else has been getting fish on, which I've been struggling on. 20 seconds, Charlie. Charlie Root, for goodness sake. Oh, also, Charlie, I need to send you an updated June recording schedule. I said there's no podcast next week. There's an Angler Quest podcast next week and an offshore podcast today with Bruce DeShano, chairman of the boards of Offshore Tackle. You hear that sound? You hear that music? It's music to your ears, isn't it? And #1 outdoor podcast now, too. Not helping me catch any fish. Oh, what else? Yeah, thank you, Tim. I appreciate that. If we make it out, I won't go far. I mean, I'll be keeping an eye on things, but I'll be able to jump in the river real quick. All right. I'm going to tell the story of my fishing woes all over again. All right, my friends, have a good day. See you tonight, 7:00, Wednesday Night Live. Well, thank you, Ken Hunter, for that introduction, and welcome to another edition of the Outdoor Magazine radio show right here on the Outdoor Magazine radio network on more than 30 radio stations across the great state of Michigan. And so glad to have you along with us as we work our way through summer. I know calendar doesn't say summer yet, but you know, doggone it, it's summer, isn't it? Kids, for the most part, are out of school. Weather's been pretty good. It's the summertime season. Let's put it that way. It is certainly the summertime season. I hope that you have had a chance to get a start on this season. I hope you at least have some plans. This is always my wish for you, that you don't allow yourself to get so busy and so tied up with day-to-day life that you don't get to take advantage of all these wonderful outdoor recreational opportunities we have around us here in this great state of Michigan. Is this state perfect? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. There are some things about this state that drive me crazy. Not so much about the natural resources, just about the way things are maybe managed or something, you know, along that line. You know, back when I had a TV show, I had a chance to do a lot of traveling all across the country, up into Canada, a few other countries as well. And though most of those trips were very enjoyable and I really had a great time and it was wonderful adventures, I always looked forward to getting back home to Michigan. I'm a Michigan guy. I was born in Michigan on the west side of the state. Grew up on the west side of the state, Kent County, just north of Grand Rapids. Went to school in this state. Started the early part of my career in this state. I've spent my entire career here in Michigan. And I make no excuse about it. I am a Michigan fanboy. I love this state. Do we have mountains? Well, we've got big hills. We don't have Rockies. Do we have oceans? No, but we got an awful lot of water. There's a lot here, a lot to do here, a lot to take advantage of. And it's my hope, my wish for you that you will certainly make plans and make the time to do that. If it means putting it on your schedule right now, your calendar, because everybody lives off a calendar these days, right? Okay, the kids have this, the grandkids have this, there's this at church, there's this going on. I get it. Man, do I get it. Make the time to make the memories. When you get down to the end and you're laying there and you're thinking back on your life, are you going to think about that extra 2 hours you spent in the office working overtime? I think probably not. But you may well remember that trip on the water with your buddy or your brother or the kids or the grandkids and the smiles on their face and the contentment in your heart. You'll remember that. I think. I haven't been there yet, but I think you will. So I have been doing my best to try to make some memories here this last week. I've actually been on the water quite a bit out there on Saginaw Bay on the Angler Quest. And I got to admit, I've been struggling my last 2 trips. I mean, I've never claimed to be an outstanding angler, but I can usually go out and catch a few fish, and I have been catching a few fish. But it's been almost uncharacteristically and uncannily and uncomfortably tough for me the last 2 trips. And I don't know what's going on. I don't know if I've got this thing in my mind now. Confidence is so much. I don't care if you're hunting or fishing. Probably anything in life, right? Confidence goes a long way, because if you have confidence in where you are fishing and how you are fishing, you are more likely to continue to fish that way in that spot, and you will catch fish because you're fishing hard. If you start to lose confidence and second guess yourself, and you start to change the way you fish, and you're changing baits and you're changing depths and you're changing locations, it's probably not going to work out too well for you. And that's kind of what's happened to me the last couple of trips. Now, I know in my heart of hearts, this was a lesson taught to me by my dad, and it's one that I try to live by every time I go in the water. Don't leave fish to find fish. Why would you? But sometimes I find myself doing it. I want to fish my beloved skinny water because it can be so good in there, and I feel so comfortable and so confident in that 10 feet of water and less. But there have been some weeds that have made it real tough to fish in there. And so I've moved out a little bit deeper to an area that's just full of fish, and everybody's been catching fish out there. In fact, I was catching fish out there last week, but I go out there now and I just can't get fish. And I just don't know what it is. I don't know. But confidence does go a long way. So tomorrow, I have a trip tomorrow. I'm taking some folks out. And and it's supposed to blow pretty good tomorrow. Southwest wind. So I don't know if I can get out very far anyway, if we get out at all. If I do get out, I'm going to be limited to this area that's protected. And I'm just going to hammer it. Just keep working it over and see what happens. I think what I need is one good day to kind of get everything back on track. That's what I need. One good day to get everything back on track. Have had some great fishing partners, though. I fished with the folks from Michigan Brand Meats here a few days ago. Nick Grillo, his dad, Mike Grillo. Everybody calls him Butch. By the way, Nick, who, as we are recording the show right now, is in Ontario bear hunting with Ron St. Louis of Northern Wilderness Bear Outfitters. He had an interesting situation last night as we are recording the show last night. A small bear that had been hanging around his blind came in the blind last night to say hi. So I'm going to get Nick on the show to talk about that, what that was like. And also by then, I hopefully will have a big boar down. People say, well, boar, I thought he was bear hunting. He's not pig hunting. No, a boar is a male bear, like a sow is a female bear. So hopefully by then, he'll have another story to tell me as well. My good friend, Tony Sovey. A lot of you know Tony. When Tony and I fish, it's like, okay, we start talking, we light a cigar, shooting the breeze. And it's like, oh yeah, we got fishing rods out there too. Do you have a buddy like that? Do you have trips like that? Somebody that you just, you click with so well that you just kind of enjoy the time together and the conversation and the stories? You don't really worry about fishing? Maybe that's why I wasn't catching fish that day. So anyway, I've been struggling with fishing just the last 2 trips, but I have been struggling. I'm thinking, okay, since I stink at fishing right now, I'm just going to go play golf. Well, guess what? I stink at golf right now too. I don't know what it is. Oh, I will get it together. I will. Speaking of golf, don't forget about the first annual Mike Avery Outdoors Charity Golf Outing coming up Monday, July 29th at the West Branch Country Club in, obviously, West Branch. Proceeds are to benefit MUCC's youth camp. The player list is filling up fast. We do still have some openings, but it is filling up fast. What I'd really like to see is if we can get some more sponsors to jump on board and help us out there. Because again, all this money raised goes toward MUCC's youth camp. And the youth camp, I can't think of a better cause. Something to get kids involved in the outdoors. Does it get any better than that these days? I don't think so. You can sign up online. Go to the website, mucc.org. That's mucc.org/golf. mucc.org/golf. You can sign up to play in the event and or become a sponsor of the event. Now, the sponsor levels are real. I think we should have set them higher, to be honest with you. I think we should have set some higher sponsor levels so we could make some more money for MUCC. But the sponsor levels are pretty low. You can get in at a pretty low amount. And all of you who have jumped on board and not necessarily at a smaller amount, thank you. God bless you. I appreciate that. I'm going to come in here very soon with a list of people who have sponsored so far and give you the credit that you deserve. What else? Well, listen, I may not be very good at fishing the last 2 trips, and I may not be very good at golf the last time I hit the course. But apparently, at least I'm okay professionally, because I did get an award from the Michigan Outdoor Writers Association, a Morton F. Award, for a video piece that I did on a last-minute bear hunt up in White River, Ontario. So I find it interesting that even though now I'm doing broadcasting, podcasting, and social media, the award was actually for video. So thank you, Michigan Outdoor Writers, for that. And that was especially rewarding because I knew Mort. I got to spend some time with Mort. Mort was one of my mentors early on. So it's nice to get that acknowledgement. I appreciate that. Also, the podcast version of the radio show has been named the top Michigan outdoor podcast by FeedSpot. So thank you, FeedSpot, for that. So see, I got some things going for me. Coming up on this week's Outdoor Magazine radio show after the break, Don Miller talks about fishing muskies on Lake St. Clair, then Tom Campbell of Woods and Water News. In our second hour, the catfishing guru, Lloyd Tanner, then Bill Piles of Ohio Bow Hunting Outfitters. And in hour number 3, Gabe Van Wormer talks about his outdoor adventures here in Michigan and also in Africa. And of course, we'll wrap it all up with wild game chef extraordinaire, Dixie Dave Miner. My name is Mike Avery. This show is called Outdoor Magazine. My website is mikeaveryoutdoors.com. My email address is mike@mikeaveryoutdoors.com. Lots more coming up in the next 3 hours. I hope you can stick around. All right, let's look at some of your comments here. Good morning, Ross. Erica, Dan, Captain Doug will be down in our area tomorrow with a trip. I'll be on the water, Linda. I'll talk to Doug. Real respect. The fishing has been tougher the last couple of weeks. Still having successful charters. Be careful determining a successful trip by catching limits. High fives and big smiles beat the stress of limiting out. Thank you. Real respect. You are 1,000% right. And Linda, I appreciate you saying that. Real respect. You named it. And if I would have had more time, I probably would have talked more about that. But that'll come up later in the show because I always say that. Don't judge a trip by the number of fish you catch. But you got to catch some once in a while. At least more than some. All right, my friends, have a great day. Looks like it's raining here an hour. Will be soon. Thank you, Bruce. I'll be back tonight at 7 o'clock for another edition of Wednesday Night Live. I hope you can join me. Good luck to Nick Grillo in Ontario. And thank you, Nick, for the Michigan Brand products, michiganbrand.net. Have a good day, my friends.